Hey, good morning there. This is Chris Conroy, Executive Vice President of Annuity Sales with Insurance Agency Marketing Services out of Omaha. So thanks all for joining us. We appreciate your time to dial in for this great webinar we're getting today on Legacy Lock. And, we'll get going here in just a minute. But let me introduce, also on the line is Court Pitcher, who's Managing Partner with Legacy Lock. Good morning, Court.
Good morning, Chris. Good morning, everyone.
Yeah, so we're real pleased to have partnered with Court and his company to make this program available to any of our producers here. Outstanding way to get in front of more clients, help them with estate planning needs, and ultimately help you too with your business. And so we'll talk a little bit about that here soon. And first, I want to do a quick review a little bit about IAMS, Insurance Agency Marketing. What does that mean? Like who are we as an organization? A lot of you probably know of us. I've been around 38 years, but do a quick commercial, what programs and services, benefits we have available to you if you do choose to do business with us. So we kind of pride ourselves on providing outstanding service and teamwork and expertise to help you with all of your insurance needs and all access to a lot of marketing and lead programs, as we'll be talking about today. Moving ahead here, and again, I'll be passing this off to Court in just a minute. But first thing is, if you haven't done business with us, we have our new producer builder program. So during your first 6 months since you contract here, we have these incentives, which are some marketing and lead programs, but also if you want to just choose the cash or marketing reimbursement option, you can choose that. So for example, if you did $250,000 of indexed annuity or combination of that and factored life and SPL, at $250,000, you get $2,000 market reimbursement. So that's pretty significant. It's about 80 basis points, and it goes all the way up. You see our top tier there is $1 million. There's a lot of different options you have there. If you wanted to choose a cash or market reimbursement option at the $1 million or those other tiers, we have that available. But this is a good way to kind of jumpstart your business, your relationship with IAMS, and put the money back into your business so you can grow it. Next thing is our business builders program. Is a couple things we have when you've been here, which is we have a referred producer program. So you can get paid on other agents you might refer over here. To example, you see a index annuity is 20 basis points, 0.2%, and that does not end. It continues in perpetuity. So good way to benefit if you have another producer to benefit from our services here at IAMS. And then market reimbursement. So after you completed the NPB, the new agent program, you'd be able to participate and get additional marketing credits that we will use for your expenses you might have to run your business. So that's another lucrative opportunity for you so that we can help subsidize your cost to run your business. Back office. So, if you've heard of IAMS, been around with us for a while, or maybe newer to us, we pride ourselves on having an outstanding back office, white glove, top service in the industry. You kind of need to come here to experience it, but I know you'd hear that from our top producers if you connected with them, which is, from A to Z, all the way from submission to commission. We're going to have a full-blown, robust, very experienced team that's going to help you with case design all the way through, contracting, cases, enforce, et cetera. So really pride ourselves on outstanding back office, and with our 2-ring guarantee that we'll answer the phone in 2 rings. No voicemails at all here. Next, our website. So we have a standing website with a ton of resources that you can get to on your own. The easiest thing is just go to IAMS Inc. and sign up. So really in there, there's literally hundreds of different sales tools, marketing presentations, access to things like our annuity grid, long-term care grid, industry information, forms, annuity rate watch, Firelight, et cetera. So it's really the home for all of your needs. And if you need help on how to get logged in, it's basically go to IAMSinc.com. It's pretty easy. Contact somebody here if you need any help. That's 800-255-5055. And we look forward to checking out what resources are available, which we're always improving. We've really transitioned into a full technology type of company. So you see a couple of those resources, eApp through Firelight, iPipeline, Sunfire, and that's available through our IAMS website as well. So the industry really has moved on to those platforms. We're pleased to have our own instance of Firelight with all those carriers you can see there. basically all the top annuity, and there's more to follow, along with several of the life companies. And so makes it really easy, smooths the process for you, makes those cases go faster, and get you paid quicker as well. Creative marketing. So we have an entire creative marketing team that is dedicated to working for you independent producers. And so this think traditional type of marketing, whether it's flyers or news, letterhead, postcards, logos, etc., all the way through and to the probably where most of the advisors are finding value is the online work. So the personal websites, digital marketing, social media strategy, newsletters, et cetera. That goes on and on. We have over 30 different marketing programs available. And whether you're looking for something to help you grow your business just on a purely digital basis, to supplement what you're doing traditional, or just take a look at what you're doing here. Good way to get going on that really is to ask for a marketing analysis from your director here, and we'll do a free complimentary review of an in-depth review of everything you do, basically A to Z in marketing, whether it's working, your ROIs, and see what's a good fit for you given the budget you want to work with. IAMS Wealth is our sister company. It's an SEC registered RIA. If you are an RIA and you're looking to maybe find a home to partner with us, keep your costs down, and get focus on clients, less on compliance, and let us do that for you, that could be a home. Or if you're maybe considering becoming a 65 or just taking the test right now, you can give us a call there. I'm going to launch a polling question. I'll have 3 of them through the course of today. If you'd like more information about IAMS Wealth, you've ever thought of becoming a wealth manager or managing assets under management there, then this would be a good time to answer that. Let me launch that polling question. If you would like info on IAMS Wealth, again, this is an opportunity for you to be more than just an insurance agent, look at becoming an investment advisor as well, and be able to present those options to your clients. That is a really good fit. Certainly in the industry, that's been an ongoing trend. A lot of people finding a home there, and really a low-cost option with a one-stop shop here at IAMS. So we're excited to have that available. I'll close down that polling question here. And let me fast forward here. So sorry about that. The next slide. So the next slide is our training academy. So we continue to offer outstanding 2-day training academies here. Many of those are here in Omaha at our home office. We got a Topeka office as well, and we'll have some available through carriers. So this is a great opportunity to really connect with other top advisors, get sales ideas, go deep on products, look at advanced marketing concepts, both annuity and life, what products are best, how to position it, sales tools, technology. Ford Pitcher himself, he's going to be at our next one and some of the future ones. So we're excited to have lead generation and estate planning type topics as well. So if you're interested in that training academy, I'll launch that polling question right now. This is one where I think some of our best agents have really found success. Come in here, get to meet us firsthand. It's really an outstanding way to see what's the most innovative and best options for you, and get to meet us, get to meet some of our top carriers. And it's really a low-cost option. I mean, we have a $500 registration fee that we will waive as long as you do a little bit of business from registration through 90 days after. So a lot of people are finding value in that and getting together, in person and really taking their game up to the next level. So I'm going to close down that poll here, but thanks those who are interested. And back to that slide there. It is last. We have a digital presence, Facebook, LinkedIn. So if you like everything we provide here, I encourage you to go out there and participate, and you'll see a lot of our activity, social posts and otherwise on digital media. So with that, I'm going to pass it off to Court Pitcher. Court, thanks for joining us today. He's co-founder of Legacy Lock and one of a good partnership we have here. And I mean, I know, Court, when we do live academies, we've had you in. I think your topic when we go through the 14 different things we do is always the one that gets the most attention. People want more information. So, Court, I'm going to pass it off to you, and maybe you can, answer the question is, why is that? I mean, why is it there's so much? So that's probably a good segue into you, Court.
All right. Hey, thank you, Chris. I sure appreciate it. Um, I just want to express gratitude to you and all the IAMS team. We're so grateful for our relationship with you, Chris, and Steve and Curtis, Laura, the whole team. If any of you are on here considering IAMS as an IMO relationship for you and a partner for you, um, they're incredible. We really are grateful for our relationship with IAMS and look forward to uh, a long-standing relationship here. But yeah, with what you just said, Chris, it's great to hear that this is the top, rating topic when we come to these academies. And I think it's just because this is something that, especially since COVID, this is something that is more at the forefront of people's minds. They're looking to do estate planning and legacy planning. People are seeking it out, but it's also something that there's just a massive market for it. I think the the topic that you sent out on this is a tap into a $35 trillion market. I mean, the market and the opportunity for this is just massive. So I'm excited to be here today to share more with everyone who's attending today. Let's see. All right, so I can't see anybody, and that's okay. But with this first slide here, I just want everybody to raise your hand if you'd like to learn a proven way to 10x your business and your life. Um, I'm assuming that everyone on here is raising their hand. I know I am. So, and this is really our message for this year: is we are looking to partner with people with agencies who really want to 10x their business and their life. Because what I'm going to talk about today can truly help you do that. Let's see. So this is the reason I'm going with this theme 10x is because I read this book a couple years ago. It's called 10x is easier than 2x, written by one of my mentors, Dan Sullivan, who's the founder of Strategic Coach. And I've been with Strategic Coach over the last couple years, and it's just been huge for me and what we're doing in our businesses. Also written by Dr. Benjamin Hardy, who is also a longtime member of the Strategic Coach. But as it says here, the 10x is not the outcome. It's a counterintuitive process you can apply every time you want exponential growth in your life and business. To make 10x possible, you must focus on expanding what Dan defines as your four most important freedoms. And that's time, money, relationship, and purpose. And that's really why I got into the Strategic Coach program, was because I was seeking for that. I realized once I read this book that the counterintuitive part is that I think we're kind of trained and conditioned to think in terms of doubling our production. It's, for years I would think that way. Hey, as I would go into a new year, I would think, okay, I'm going to double my production this year or triple my production this year. But what this book helped me realize is that in order to double your business or double your production, you actually are just doing more of what you've been doing all along. You're having to work more, put in more time, do the same things, but just more of it. And I realized a few years ago when I was kind of living in that mindset, it was overwhelming. It created a lot of stress in my life. It wasn't healthy for me. It affected my ability to be present, just because I was so consumed with what was happening in my business. And it affected my time, my money, my relationships, and even my purpose. And it was a huge drain on me. Once I learned the power of 10x, I realized, oh my goodness, it's true. It is easier than 2x. It's a lot easier. And I'm going to explain to you how you can make that happen and how we can help you make that happen with the utilization of Legacy Lock and our legacy planning process. There's a little delay here when I try to switch the slides, but we'll get through here. So what is the legacy planning process? Another key question, how is it different than typical estate planning? And what makes it more valuable than typical estate planning? Those are questions that I want to answer for all of you today. So I know I've kind of broken the rules of PowerPoint here on this slide and the next one with all these words, but I don't care because it really articulates very, very well what the legacy planning process is and how it's different than typical estate planning. So it's a proven 4-step process designed to serve more people at a higher level. It starts with the creation of comprehensive, customized, attorney-drafted estate planning documents specific to all 50 states. And these documents are created and generated through our Legacy Lock software. So just to add a little bit more to that, we partnered with a law firm, partnered with some attorneys, and brought in some software developers. This was over 10 years ago. And we developed an estate planning software technology that allows us and you, should you choose to engage with us in this, but it would allow you to provide customized attorney drafted estate planning documents that are compliant in all 50 states. The documents are specific to the laws of every state. Okay, and so part of what we do is we give you access to that estate planning software technology, and we train you how to use it, how to take your clients through it, and how to create and generate those documents for them. Next paragraph. Once the documents are created and executed, the next step is to provide asset funding instructions to the client so that their assets are protected from the government when they die. Assets that are properly funded make it easier to distribute after the grantors pass away. So this is a super important step, and it's one of the primary reasons for helping people do their estate planning. We want to help them create a plan that is more specific to what they want, not what the government wants. And one of the key things in doing that is making sure that their assets are properly funded with their trust. And what funding means is to move or transfer. So we take a proactive role in sitting down with the client and talking through their assets and giving them the proper instructions to move or transfer their assets as it relates to their trust. And if they follow through with that and set everything up correctly, then their assets, their estate will be protected from the government, specifically the probate courts. The next step, now this is where we take things to another level. This is where legacy planning comes into play. So the next step is where we take planning to another level with our clients. We help our clients discover areas where their assets may be at risk or vulnerable to what we call wealth eroding factors, of which they may not be aware. Once those risks and vulnerabilities are discovered, we discuss the ideal strategies specific to their own situation to fully protect and optimize every asset. So this is where your expertise as a specialist or an expert in the financial services industry, this is where your expertise can really help the client in a way that they wouldn't get anywhere else. These are things that are typically not discussed and proposed if they go to a law firm or an attorney. They're not going to go through this stuff with them to the level or to the degree that we would. So this is where things go to a whole other level. Now, the last step is to help them implement those strategies as quickly and efficiently as possible. And from there, it's essential to conduct regular reviews to ensure that the client's legacy plan is moving in the right direction based on their objectives for their specific plan. So really what I'm saying here to everyone on this call today is our process starts by helping them set up their estate planning documents. Once those documents are executed, then we move into instructions on funding their trust or funding their assets into the trust. Then we move into making recommendations and what we call asset protection and optimization strategies. And that's where you end up it's where you end up writing more business. That could be life insurance, that could be annuities, that could be long-term care or disability insurance. It could be assets under management. Anything that you do that you can help them with to improve their life, their situation, and their overall plan, that's what it leads into. So it's pretty exciting. So I just want to share what this process has done for my business personally over the years. And I want to explain, more importantly, what it can do for your business. How can this truly help you 10x your business and your life? I want to first of all start by sharing that one of the great things about partnering with us and using Legacy Lock and our legacy planning process is you now have a way to get paid for helping people set up their estate planning documents. Okay, so we have a commission schedule here. Most of our licensees around the country are charging anywhere from as high as $19.95. That's the highest price point you can charge. And they'll go down to around $14.95. Regardless of what price you charge, it still provides the same documents for everyone. So we just give you the autonomy, we give you the ability to decide if you want to charge the full price at $19.95 or if you want to give them a discount. We provide promo codes for you so that you can give them discounts. Now, obviously, that affects your commissions. Sorry, I'm going to go back here. Okay, so as I was saying, that does affect what you get paid as far as commission. So if you charge $19.95, your commission is going to be almost $1,200. Now, really, what I tell our licensees is when you take a client through our process, it starts with them filling out some forms, and then you get into the Legacy Lock software with the client. And I tell our licensees, this becomes the best fact finder you've ever used in your life with any client. It's a fact finder on steroids. But what's cool about it is you get paid to do that fact finder. Have you ever been able to go through and do a fact finder, a financial questionnaire or whatever, and get paid for it on the front end of the process? I would imagine most of you have not. But through this process, you're actually going to get paid to collect those forms and get into the software with the client and go through and ask them the questions in the software. You're going to learn more about your client than you ever have before. And it's awesome. And you get paid to do that. So this next slide it shows what results we're getting in our office with my team. So we keep track of every person that comes through that we get introduced to and that goes through our process. We track it very carefully. And for every 10 people we meet with to do what we call an intro meeting, so it's just an initial contact with that client, we do a 15-20 minute intro meeting. I'm not blowing smoke when I say this, I'm not overhyping this, but if we can get in front of them and do an intro meeting, 100% of the time they move forward and commit to our process, meaning that they pay to go through it. Now, that some people may not commit immediately, it may mean that we've got to, have another conversation or two, but most of the time, people will move forward after that initial intro meeting. So if you do the math on that, if we're charging $19.95 to those 10 people, that's almost $12,000 for every 10 people we meet with. Out of those 10 people, we typically close 6 cases at an average of $20,000 in commission per case. So you do the math on that, that's another $120,000. And when I say commission, that could be, you know, life commission, it could be annuity commission, it could be long-term care, it could be AUM, right? And sometimes it's a combination of those things. So now when we first started doing this, when I first started doing this, my average commission was probably around $7,000 to $8,000 per case. But over time, as more people have heard about what we do and more referrals come in, we're getting referred to people who have, you know, even better situations, and we're able to assist them, and it's made our average case size go up. So the total revenue on that for every 10 people that we meet with is $131,750. So in my office right now with my team, hopefully this will move to the next slide. In my office, my team is averaging 20 to 25 committed clients per month. And our goal this year is to get to where we're doing 40 to 50 a month. So if you go back to the previous slide and do the math on that, you know, it's pretty significant once you're reaching those levels. And if I were to look at the numbers and what we're producing now versus what we were producing 3, 4, 5 years ago, we've already 10x'd our business, and we're on pace to 10x it again. Okay, so the next slide. Okay, so this is another incredible book that I read, also by Dan Sullivan and Dr. Hardy. And this also was significant in helping me learn how to 10x my business and my life. It's called Who Not How. Highly recommend anyone who's on here, I highly recommend that you get your hands on this book as soon as possible too. But Who Not How is also kind of a counterintuitive mindset. You know, from the time we were little kids to where we are now, we've all been kind of conditioned or trained in our minds when we come to a problem or a challenge or an obstacle. The first thing we think about is, how do I overcome this? How do I fix this problem or challenge? But in this book, Dan and Dr. Hardy helped me realize that most of the time the solution to overcoming the problem or the challenge is who, not how. So if you think in terms of who could help me overcome this problem or challenge or obstacle, then it takes your mind in a different direction, and you'll be amazed how quickly you'll find or encounter that who in your life that can help you with that, help you overcome it. So I'm going to be more specific here on what I mean by that and how that helped me 10x my business. So this next slide talks about what I discovered. So when I was initially going through Strategic Coach and I read Who Not How, one of the things that we got talking about was getting clear for yourself on what your unique ability is. In other words, what unique ability is your God-given strengths. What is it about you that if you apply your greatest strength that you would do on a day-to-day basis, and you love it so much that it energizes you, it gives you, it empowers you, it gives you excitement and zeal for what you're doing every day. It's what you would do that you're extremely passionate about. So the first step is to get really clear on what your unique ability is. And then once you are clear on that, then you want to create a unique ability team around you. So the people on your team, you would identify people who have strengths or unique abilities in the areas that you maybe don't have strengths, or maybe areas that you don't like working in. So as I said, a few years ago, I was hitting this ceiling of complexity. I was overwhelmed trying to double my business or 2x my business. And I realized that the reason for that is I was actually doing everything in our process. I was the marketer. I was doing the marketing. I was doing a lot of the administrative stuff in the process. And I hated that. I really hated it. I was doing what we call the role of the legacy planning coordinator, and that's the person that um, works face to face with the client and takes them through the software and conducts those meetings. But then I was also doing, I was functioning as the wealth strategist and helping with the wealth strategies on the back end of our process. So I was literally doing almost everything for every client I met with, and it was a lot. It really got overwhelming. Well, once I got clear on what my unique ability was, I realized that the marketer that was where my unique ability lined up with the most. I wanted to be running in that lane as much as possible. So the first thing I did, the first step I took was I hired an admin. And for a long time, people have been telling me, you need to hire an admin assistant. You need to hire someone. But I was kind of afraid to do it. I was like, well, how am I going to do that? How am I going to pay them? How am I going to pay them enough to make it worth their time? Well, I while going through strategic coach, I realized, hey, I'm getting paid $1,200 in commission every time I do a legacy plan for someone. What I'm going to do is be specific on what the admin's role is going to be in that process, and I'm going to pay my admin a portion of that commission on every single legacy plan that we do. And so initially that started out as part-time, but as our volume increased and our pipeline got bigger, it's turned to a point where my admin is full-time, she's super busy, and she's making between $5,000 to $8,000 a month right now. So it's been awesome for her, but it was a huge relief to me because she was able to take off or take away from me a lot of the things that were costing me to feel overwhelmed and frustrated. Um, from there, I added a legacy planning coordinator. So I brought on someone and trained them how to take a client through the first couple steps of the legacy planning process. And again, that freed me up to do more of what I wanted to do. And he is amazing. He's actually become better than I was at the legacy planning coordinator role, and he's doing really, really well in that role as well. And then over the last year, I've added 2 wealth strategists to our team, and I brought them on and made sure that they were even better than me at doing the wealth strategies. So now I have 2 people in that role. So now I'm fully running in my lane, in my area of unique ability, and it's allowing me to get more people into the pipeline and increase our volume, help us see and serve and help more people, and then it's multiplying our business altogether. Now, I'm not saying to all of you who are on here that you have to have this team in order to come be a part of Legacy Lock and learn and integrate the legacy planning process into your business. But I will say we would love to partner with you in this endeavor, and we would love to consult with you and help you create a plan that if you don't currently have a team, we can help you move in that direction and help you become even more productive and multiply your business. All right, next slide. So how do you get started with Legacy Lock? How do you become a Legacy Lock affiliate or licensee? The initial investment is $995, and that $995 is split into 2 separate fees. The first one is $495, and that gets you licensed and be able to access not only our software but all of our intellectual property. So $495, which also gives you a complimentary trust for you and your family. So for $495, that's one of the many benefits you'll get is that complimentary trust. The other $500 goes towards our mandatory training workshop. We call it the Accelerator Workshop, and it's a day-and-a-half workshop, again, that we require you to attend in order to be able to use Legacy Lock and use our legacy planning process. We do those workshops about every 6 weeks. In fact, we just had a day-and-a-half workshop this week. Our next one is on April 29th and 30th in Salt Lake City, which is where my office is. We've also been talking with Chris and Steve and Curtis about doing a workshop in Omaha at the IAMS home office. And we've talked about doing that here in the near future. We don't have any dates set, but that is something we'll be doing. So those of you that are interested, again, that's the initial investment. Once you're in year 2 and beyond, you just continue to pay that $495. And again, that allows you to maintain an active license with us so that you can access our software and all of our intellectual property. And it also it's there for compliance reasons too. So you cannot use Legacy Lock or our software or our process without maintaining an active license for compliance reasons. Okay, next slide. So I want to just elaborate on what you get as an affiliate licensee. I already mentioned that you get a complimentary trust for you and your family. Some of you on here may already have a trust or estate planning documents, and that's great. If you already have one, we can still give you a complimentary restated trust, meaning we can restate your existing trust by using the same name and date of your trust, but then update it with all of our Legacy Lock documents, estate planning documents. Next one there, when you become an affiliate, you'll immediately get your own personalized Legacy Lock website, which you can also link to any other websites that you have or use for your business. And then, as I've said all along, you get access to our proprietary process and tools. You also get access to our proprietary business management software. So a lot of people might refer to it as a CRM. The reason we call it a business management software is it is a CRM on steroids. It basically takes all of the different CRMs that you may be utilizing in your business right now, and it's all in one. So we've created in our business management software, we've got our process lined out in there so that as people come into your pipeline, you can track them step by step in our process. And as they move from step to step, every time you move them to a new step in the process, our software will send out automated text messages and emails to the client just so that they're following along and knowing how to stay on track. The other thing that it does is it tracks all of your communications between you and your client through any text messages that go out or come in, any emails that go out or come in. It's all tracked under your client's contact. We have a whole calendaring system in there. So if you're using anything like Calendly or things like that, you can get rid of that and get, access. You can have a calendar system in there. You can even have a calendar system for your team if you have a team around you. And then we also are building in more marketing into our business management software, like social media marketing. IAMS and Clifford and the Safe Money team are helping us put together a virtual sales letter. And so you can use that virtual sales letter through social media and do campaigns like that. You can do seminars, webinars, and by doing that, all those are funneled into the business management software so that you're notified as soon as a new lead comes in. You're notified and you can immediately take action on that. So there's just a lot of things that you can do with our business management software. I already talked about the accelerator workshop, which is a day and a half with me and my partners. I'll move on to the next one here. You get access to our inner circle. Oops, sorry, can you go back to the previous? So access to our inner circle. We have some of the best in the business in the areas of asset protection, tax mitigation, and even our legal network. And by engaging and partnering with us, you will get introduced to these experts and specialists, and you'll be able to utilize them, for situations where they may be helpful to you and your clients. You also get invited to our monthly marketing webinar, which I lead that out each month. And we spend about 30 to 60 minutes in those webinars just talking about best practices for marketing and things that are working out in the field to get in front of more people. You also can get access to our proprietary marketing programs. That's another thing that's been so awesome in our relationship with IAMS is we've been working with their creative team. We've been working with Clifford at Safe Money Events, and we have created a seminar and webinar for Legacy Lock and the legacy planning process. Just want to touch on that real quick. So we were working on that the first part of the year last year. And once it was ready, I decided I wanted to be the first one to test it because I didn't want to go out and promote something that didn't really work. And so I worked with Clifford and his team. He created a really nice ad, and we put that out on Facebook. We targeted a specific demographic, and within 2 days, the event was filled, and I had reserved a nice room at a nice restaurant right by my office. The room held up to 60 people, and we filled it up in 2 days. We ended up with a waiting list of an additional 40 people. I also chose to pay an additional $500 for Clifford's call team to call and confirm all the registrants all the way up to the day of the seminar. So we got to the seminar that evening, and the room was packed. It was completely full. I did a 35-minute presentation, and before I turned them over to dinner, I told them that anyone who scheduled a follow-up meeting with us would get an additional $200 discount, but they had to schedule with us that night. 90% of the rooms scheduled a follow-up appointment with us, and our conversion was phenomenal. Our conversion to getting those people into the process, and we wrote more business on it, and so the results were just incredible. So we're gonna do more seminars, more webinars this year, just because the results were so good. I mean, Chris mentioned at the beginning of this webinar that this is an attractive topic, very attractive, not only to people in our business, but more importantly to the people in our communities and in our markets. The last thing here on this slide is access to our annual roundtable trip. This is something new that we launched this year, and what that means is anyone who does 100 legacy plans or more in the calendar year will be invited to our annual roundtable trip. All right, next slide. So if you're interested in moving forward and partnering up with us to utilize Legacy Lock and learn how to implement the legacy planning process into your practice or into your business or agency, just send an email to me, court@mylegacylock.com, and I'll send out my calendar so that you can schedule an intro or an onboarding meeting with me, and we can help you get going. We can help you get set up and you on the path to connecting your business and your life. That's our goal. As I said all along, we're looking to partner with people who are serious about that, who really want to partner with us and implement this valuable planning process into their practice. So the best way to do that is shoot me an email, and schedule an onboarding. I'll send you my calendar. We'll schedule an onboarding meeting with you. Anyways, I want to thank all of you for being on here today, for attending this webinar. Chris, I want to thank you
Yeah.
for the kind invitation to be a part of this and be able to share this with everybody, and we're very
Right.
grateful.
Well, Court, thank you so much. I'm going to launch a polling question another way. If you are interested in more information, we'll capture that here with a polling question. So I encourage everybody, if you're on this, no, there's no downside. So I can't imagine we'd have any no's here, but what you have there is really a top, kind of best in class estate planning document service, which, put it up against anything else out there, and certainly at that price point with the free updates and amendments and so forth. I mean, it's an outstanding program. So we really feel there's a tremendous amount of value to the insurance agents that are out there to help clients and ultimately the end client, because so many people need help. One question I know, Court, is about the training program, and I guess I think of some of the people out there on this call might say, well, I'll close that poll here. Thank you for responding. Which is, do I really need to go through that training? So some people might think they're kind of estate plan experts, and I know you have a good answer on that. And then, how robust is it? So maybe talk a little bit about what a typical, producer who goes through that is, why they need to do that, why it's so important.
Yeah, happy to answer that. In fact, thank you for asking that question. Again, this is a more of a holistic planning process. There is a lot of detail to it. It's not super difficult, but there is a lot of detail to it. And we want to make sure that anyone who comes on with Legacy Lock as an affiliate licensee really knows and understands how to competently and confidently take someone through that process. You're not only representing yourselves and your business, you're representing Legacy Lock, and we want to make sure that our brand is well represented. In coming into this, you're learning how to help clients get their estate planning documents in place. And we want to make sure that you're communicating in a way where you're never crossing the line in giving unauthorized, that you're never giving legal advice. And so we want to make sure that you're doing things in a compliant manner. We want to make sure that you're doing things in a very professional manner, that you're representing yourself, your business, and Legacy Lock at the highest level. So that's why we do require the training. That's why we charge a fee for it. And I'll be candid, we're not trying to bring on everyone into this. This may not be a fit for every one of you, and that's fine. We're trying to find people who want to partner with us and take it seriously and implement this into their business to truly 10x their business. That's who we're looking to partner with. And so that may not fit everybody, but we're okay with that. Hopefully that answers the question, Chris.
Yeah, I think, if for those of you that are on here kind of curious, there's a lot of it's just tremendous good information, probably questions that typical financial advisors get day to day out about basic estate planning concepts and what do these terms mean and what happens if I pass on, not prepared. Those are questions I'm sure a lot of agents probably have got over their career, and this helps provide some supplement to some of that basic knowledge as they prepare to help them with an estate planning document package. So I think it's really a good value add for so many people. And so with that, I think we are going to wrap up today. I want to appreciate everybody joining us and say thank you to Court and everybody that joined today's program. And again, if you have more information or you need more information, you missed one of the polling questions, whatnot, just you can call here 800-255-5055, and we're happy to get you more information from for Court and anything else we discussed today. Thanks all. Thanks everybody.
Thanks, Chris.